So here we have an indefinite integral, and it's a little tricky. And the best thing I can tell you to do is just to kind of play with this thing, and it'll kind of be revealed. And one thing that I can do about this right away is I can say that this is equivalent to the square root of x minus 1 over the square root of x to the fifth, and then I'm not going to forget my dx. And then I could also say that this is equal to and I'm not sure how you would really want to go about doing this. It's just the most apparent way for me to do it. This is equal to, well, x to the fifth can be factored into x squared times the square, or the square root of x to the fifth times the square root of x. And then this is what I was saying. I don't know if you would necessarily, you might just factor out that x squared right at this point, but me, it kind of helps me to, recognize this first and then go to this and then kind of go back to this, so I can say that that's 1 over x squared times the square root of x minus 1 over x. Ooh, I ran off the little page there. And then I can rewrite what's under the radical there as 1 over x squared, and then rewrite what's under the radical. Well, that's x over x minus 1 over x. So x over x is 1 minus 1 over x dx. And this is actually the form that I want it to be in order to integrate. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to let u, as usual, be what's under the integral. Under the radical, sorry. So let u, equal 1 minus 1 over x, and then du equals the derivative of 1 is 0, the derivative of negative 1 over x is positive 1 over x squared dx. If you need some little, that's actually negative x to the negative 1, just as kind of a little side here. Let me make reference to that. And if I take the derivative of that, that's going to be x to the negative 2, bring that power down in front, so that's 1 over x squared. Just some little scratch work there to show you how I got that. Well, I do have 1 over x squared dx right here, so I can sub in du for that, and then that'll leave the square root of u du, and then that's of course u to the 1/2 and du, and then I can integrate that, and that's u to the 3/2 over 3/2, which is multiplying by 2/3 plus c, sub back in for u, and I get 2/3 times what was u? 1 plus 1 over x, 1 minus 1 over x, and that's to the 3/2. And I guess you get a common denominator and go back to x minus 1 over x, which I guess you could just go right there, at that point, x minus 1 over x, and set u equal to that. You would actually get the same thing after simplify, but you have to use the quotient rule when you derive, and I don't know, it'd just be easier doing it this way. So, well, I don't really know. That's up to you, but anyway, this is how you do it.